Hi all, I hope you're all doing okay. Welcome back to the channel, and for the new people, welcome to the channel and please subscribe for more videos like these. So today, as you can see, I have the Astra on the jack stands again, or axle stands. Today I'm going to tackle the rear brake pads, and I'm going to try and show you how I'm doing it. This is one of my first brake jobs, so please bear with me, but I hope you'll learn. So what I've done is I've taken off the rear wheel or alloy off already, so just because I didn't wanted you to see me struggle taking off the lug nuts and the alloy itself. It's relatively easy to take off the brake caliper itself, mainly the bit that we want to take off to change the brake pads. So there's a 10mm bolt up top here, which is very easy to get to, that you need to take off completely. And then there is this big bolt, if you were to say, but to take that off you have to loosen this 18mm nut there. So I'm trying to show you there. You can use open-ended spanners like these, but what I tend to use, it's a 10mm, but it's kind of a bit bigger. Go like this, and it should go the other way around like that. I hope you can see it. Yes, it should be okay. So I'll just give a quick impact like this, and it's relatively easy to come off then, as you can see here. I'll try and show you from a different angle there. It's very easy to take off then. That's it there. That's how it should look. To take off the bottom bolt, the bigger one, you have to loosen this 18mm nut, and for that you're going to need an open-ended wrench like this, and I'm going to try and impact it from the top. So finally, it was still a bit tight, even though I've sprayed some WD-40 on it, just because the brakes are always a dusty spot, brake dust and all that. So I think that should be okay. Yeah, as you can see there, it's very easy to, after just 1 or 2 spins. That's it there. Take off the top one as well. You'll notice that it's kind of stuck tight a small bit, so you're going to give it a bit of wobbles like this, wiggle it off like that. Now you can find a bungee cord or something, or just a rope to put it somewhere just to release the pressure off the hoses and stuff, but I'm just going to leave it like that, and overall there's no pressure on it. So the next thing is you're trying to make sure that these go in and out fairly easily. For what we're here are the brake pads, so as you can see they're fairly easy to take off. Just wiggle it around like that, try to keep it kind of equal from both top and bottom, so they're able to slide out like that. So as you can see, they are fairly worn out, they have been changed in a while. So that's the front one, same for the back side. As you know, to change the brake pads we need to rewind back the piston. So if I was to show you new brake pads, you can see how thick they are, and the older ones, they're disgrace. So because the disc and the 2 pads are not going to fit with the current piston travel where it is now, so we have to rewind it back. So when I rewind it back, I actually take off the older fluid to make it easy to rewind back. So this is a screw type piston, which is not the easiest ones if you have no special tools, and I actually didn't get the tools because I wasn't too sure. So what I'm going to do is release the bleed valve, and this is a quick brake and clutch bleed kit, let's say, from Halfords. So I'm just going to keep it there. Not the ideal situation, but should do. So I hope you can see the cap here of the bleeder valve. It's kind of rubber, so let me use the screwdriver maybe. There. So it's quickly just to leverage it off like that. I'm actually going to use the same 10mm socket and approach it from behind. Once you have it on, it just takes a bit of force, so try to make sure you have a good grip on the thing, and like that. So quickly you should ease that off, place your thing there like that, just slide it on. There's a retainer kind of clip thing on it as well, but from experience, it's tight enough so you don't need it really. As you can see, this is the position I've got it in finally. To rewind back the caliper, the hose is connected and the valve is loose. This is the combination of home tools that I used to rewind it back. So once you kind of grip it, the metal piston thing, and rewind it in like a screw clockwise, so once you have a few turns in, it kind of becomes a bit easier. So you can go in with your nose plier from the top down, try to get a good deep grip and hold it from the left like that, the piston itself, so there's no pressure on the other bits, and turn it like that. So you have to go as much as you can basically. That's it. So I'll rewind it back, and then one thing I like to show you is, if you look at the back side, it's not ideal to see, but there is a kind of a notch which should line up with one of the notches on the piston itself that you're using to grip. I've cleaned the brackets as well, the pad clips, with a wire brush, and both top and bottom. So this is the new pad. Here is how it looks, and then I'm going to just take a dab of copper grease. I know it looks a bit too much, but I'm going to just like that, and then on here as well. Why I'm using a screwdriver is not ideal, but sure, I don't have anything and my hands are dirty, so it's better to use something cleaner. Just this much, you don't have to go mad on it. And same on the top side as well, just a little dab, just smear it around the place, and same here, because this is the areas which are going to be kind of moving around, you don't want to seize them as well. And the back ones, just like that. That's okay. So what I've noticed is you should go from the top side and slide the back in a small bit like that, turn around further like this, no too much like that, so, and push it in from the bottom and slide it in. So as you can see, it went okay like that, so it's sitting okay. And I'm going to do the same story with the back side, and then I will show you when I'm putting on the caliper itself. I'm going to try and place the caliper in place. Make sure your bolts are ready to keep them in place, to keep the caliper in place. So both the pads are in with a bit of copper grease at all the needed places, in the surface, in the clips as I showed you earlier. So here is the moment of truth. So it went relatively okay, and I'm just holding it with one of my hands, and I'm going to insert the screw in the hole. Just like that. As you can see, it's going in okay. The bottom pin as well, I've actually sprayed a bit of WD-40 on it just for the future, like that. And then place it in the hole like that. As you can see, it's getting fairly dark, so unlike myself, please leave a whole day at least and start as early as you can in the daytime. Now that the caliper is in place, I've tightened both of the bolts and also using the 18mm spanner to hold it and tighten the bottom bolt. As you can see, I left the bleeder bottle there in place. I'm going to open the bleeder valve with the 10mm, and I won't show you, but I'll tell you that I'll be pressing the brakes a few times. I prefer to do it after starting the car, so I'm going to start the car and press the brake pedal a good few times and let the old fluid come out. And I've actually topped up with fresh brake fluid to the max level, and keep an eye on it. Don't let it go below the min at all at any time, so keep topping it up, and once you're happy that there's no air bubbles and the new fresh fluid is coming out, you're good to go. And start from the as far as you can from the brake booster itself. So I've actually done the other side. This is the driver's side one, and then I'm going to go the passenger side front and driver side front when I'm bleeding the brakes, or especially to change the brake fluid. Everything is in place now. I've checked all the bolts and stuff, so make sure you don't leave anything loose behind. And I know this wasn't a great video as a DIY tutorial, but as I said, it was my first time doing it, so I hope you learned a bit, and I definitely learned a lot. So give this video a like if you actually liked it, and we'll see you in some other videos.